know one thing is on your mind right now, Super Bowl, of course. I know the big football game is coming up, but what about some of us who are not following, or maybe you don't like football, or you don't have a favorite team, they were kicked out, and you always think about the food that's going to be at the party, you know? And if we're talking about food, this is the expert. Here's Rosa. She is the designer and creator of Bites app, and recently she released that awesome app yesterday, and it is going to be nationwide, so you can go ahead, click, and download that app on the phone, but it will be starting off here in the metropolitan area, and you can get a feel for how it works and see all the new features. But I want to give you a little backstory before I jump into it. So what's up? What's going on? Tell us about all the excitement with your app.
Thank you very
Well,
much.
first of all, I'm gonna jump in before that. How are you feeling about this? I mean, you just released this yesterday. Do you feel like a huge sense of relief, or, I mean, it's been on your mind? You had this vision in your mind for like 1.5 years, and so now I'm sure that is finally tangible. It's like out there. I mean, how long did you work to get it to the point where it was yesterday and launched?
Wow, so we had the beta version of this app released back in late September of 2017. And between that date and now, we were in beta test mode. And for the last month and a half, really, we were completely redesigning this app. So we took the whole thing and we pretty much gutted it to create a much better, more dynamic, more interesting, more colorful, more exciting experience for people. So that whether they're the foodies getting on the app to find the local chefs, now they have an assortment of ways to be able to access those chefs. They don't have to just pick their event date and go based on that to see what chefs are available that day or night. Now they can just check out every single chef within a 20-mile radius of them who's created a profile. They can select and see just the professional chefs, or just the culinary school students, or just the homemaker cooks. So they can search by chef type. They can search by cuisine types. They can plug in, 1 or up to 40 different cuisines that we have in there that they can search by, or they can search by event date. And they can search by all of those combined. So if you have a certain cuisine that you want to have on a certain day by a certain chef type, you can search in that way too. So you can combine these search filters, essentially. So that's what's new for the foodies. This is a much more colorful, interesting app than what we had. That was really what we call in tech, our minimally viable product, our MVP. And this version now is essentially our first official release. And for the chefs, this new app really offers much more of an opportunity to showcase their talents in more of a tailored way. So chefs not only can show a la carte menus like they did before, but now they can also show fixed menus and even tasting menus within those fixed menus. So they can really differentiate and decide how they want to cook, how they want to present, what kinds of experiences they want to offer the foodies. And the chefs can also check out other chef profiles. I know that was something that a lot of them didn't like before, bluntly, is that they wanted to see what other chefs were offering and what they were doing and what they were posting. So now all chefs get to check out other chefs as well.
That is so cool. Kevin's gonna get his phone. While he gets his phone, I'm curious. So the people who are watching now, some of them are chefs.
Yay!
If they're like, yeah, come to my house. If they are interested in like becoming a chef or a home cook for yours? You mentioned a little bit your website. Do the chefs just contact you, or they go into the website and it's right there to sign up? Or
yeah, they just download the app, and they can go to our website to find the direct links to our app. So they just visit bites.mobi. It's BITES.MOBI. So it's not a .com. It's a .mobi. So they can go there and get the direct link to the App Store and Google Play to our app there, so they don't have to search on the App Store or Google Play. But if they choose to go to the App Store or Google Play, absolutely fine. They'll just need to search for Bites Foodie App. That full phrase, Bites Foodie App. 3 words.
Foodie.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. If it's one word, you can't find it.
One missing word.
So, yeah, the chefs would go there and essentially download the app and then create a free chef profile and self-identify themselves as a professional chef, a culinary school student, or a home cook, and then finish out their profile so that foodies can connect with them on the app and reserve their services for in-home dining experiences, farm to table, because these chefs are essentially sourcing directly from all the tiny local growers within their community and taking those fresh seasonal ingredients into the home of the foodie to create the complete dining experience from scratch.
So it's a very fresh,
Healthy.
way to cook, which is nice.
Absolutely.
And people from different states, could they download their app now if they're interested in learning?
Absolutely. So I would recommend, if people in other states are downloading the app, to have quite a bit of patience with us, because we have not been messaging about this app to the rest of the country. So if you go on there and you see that there are no chef profiles, you wouldn't be surprised initially, because it'll take us time to start getting the message out throughout the country. Right now we're really focused mostly in Metro Phoenix, Arizona, and we'd like to expand throughout Arizona and go down to Tucson and go up to Flagstaff. But I think organically things will just start spreading around the country. But I would recommend that the chefs within the different states, if you know a home cook, if you know a culinary student or a professional chef in any state, to let them know about the app and suggest that they share a message of the app with their community, so that more people in the community can access the app and participate.
Great. Our little baby Asher wants to be involved, so don't mind while Kevin grabs him, and then we'll pull up on the phone and she could go step by step what exactly to do. But what would you like to add to that? I want to learn. Oh, Asher wants to learn. He wants to learn more about what you're doing. You already talked about February 11th, or not yet?
No, I didn't.
No? Okay.
So in about a week from now, right, February 11th, we are having our official launch party for this official app coming out. We're celebrating with live music, an indie band coming down from Flagstaff, and Quinn and the Confluence is the name of that band.
Quinn
And the Confluence.
Confluence.
Awesome band, check them out. We are also celebrating with a local street artist, doing a farm-to-table mural, a gigantic mural that will span the entire length and height of our warehouse wall, where we have our headquarters, Bites, here in Metro Phoenix. And his name is Isaac Caruso. Wonderful, cool guy. We will also have food and drinks. And this is all really in celebration and thanks to the beta users who participated on our app. So all the foodies who downloaded our app at some point to check it out, all the chefs, the professionals, the students, the home cooks who participated on our app and created profiles to any extent, and then the growers, the urban farms, the micro farms, the co-ops, the backyard gardens, the community gardens, the organic and family-owned small growers who created farm profiles on our website. So the growers, I just want to make sure that everyone understands that growers do not need to go on the app. They're the only folks who do not need to go on the app at all. They just go to our website and they click at the very top of the website. It'll say farms and wineries. And when they click on that on the website, they will get the ability to create a farm profile. And I say farms and wineries because I believe that sustainability is about everything we grow locally. So that includes the grapes, right? The wines. And so, oh yes, that, as I say that, it occurs to me that I need to mention that the most wonderful winemaker in Arizona.
Oh yes, I'm glad you mentioned the wine.
Sam Pillsbury of Pillsbury Wines. He's the top winemaker in Arizona. Will be here at our launch party as well to talk about wines. So we've got like amazing people that are going to be here. We are also taking film footage of the street artist mural that's happening on our wall, and we're going to time lapse that. And we are going to get a projector and project that film onto one of the walls here in our space, in our courtyard where we're going to have this party, so that people see the start to finish process of how this mural came to be on this wall. And this mural is going to be the first in a series of murals that I'm interested in to sort of celebrate the arts community in Metro Phoenix area. So to me, the culinary arts pair very well with the visual arts and the performing arts. So we're partnering with, indie bands. We're partnering with organizations that support independent music. We're partnering with local street artists. And I think that's important for a sense of community, right? So the ethic and the ethos behind our app is really, it just sort of bleeds out into everything else we do in Touch. Because really that's what community is about. It's not about staying isolated. It's about connecting with everyone else and helping everyone else in that journey. And so we want to give visibility to local artists. So back to my mentioning this wall and this mural, it's going to be the first in a series of murals that will go on that wall. I'm going to call that a living wall, essentially, because new murals will go up there every 6 or 9 months. We'll get a different local artist to put up a different mural on top of the previous one, so it completely covers it.
That's
brand new.
Interesting.
Yeah. As long as, so, the artists have complete freedom to capture bites in their own sense, through their own interpretation, through their own lens. As long as they have an understanding of the ethos behind this app, I want them to express that through their own artistic eye, essentially.
I have one question quick. You mentioned an awesome, I love cooking shows. Like, I'm always fascinated with watching the chefs, fascinated with the food. So you mentioned you're actually going to have kind of a cooking show, not competition, but kind of a cooking show.
Yes, I had mentioned that briefly before. So we're going to be having, it's not a competition. We'll be having an indie film series that I'm starting next month called Foodie and Chef. So it's the word foodie, and then there's a plus sign, and then the word chef. And we're going to have a YouTube channel for Bites that we're putting up as we speak. today, and that Bites YouTube channel is going to get populated into it, different videos, different things that we're doing. And a part of the things that we're going to be uploading into that Bites YouTube channel for the Bites Foodie app is this indie film series that we're doing called Foodie and Chef. And essentially, different chefs within the community in Metro Phoenix are going to be coming into my home individually, and they're going to cook from scratch some dish. Doesn't matter to me what it is, I'll eat it if it's flavorful. And they are going to cook that from scratch, and I'm going to interact with them and ask questions and taste the food as they're making it, and they're going to talk about their story, how they got into cooking, what they're passionate about, what they care about, their interpretation on different cuisines and the different ingredients they use and how they use those. And then them talking about where they source these ingredients. And then that chef and I will sit down at my kitchen table and we'll enjoy that dish, that meal together. And at the end of this, whether that took an hour footage, filming, or 2 hours from scratch, we are going to
edit it down, right?
Yep.
How long? 15 minutes?
15 minutes, 15, short. And then we'll have a series of those. And each one will showcase a different chef in the community, so that this is helpful both to the foodies that are watching this, so they get a sense of this chef's persona, their character, their appeal, their, what they talk about, what they care about, whether this resonates with that foodie for an in-home dining experience, farm to table. So for the foodies, that's what they get out of this indie film series, watching these different segments with these different chefs. And for the chefs, this is about showcasing their talent in the culinary space and putting that on the map.
Show their work.
Yeah.
Show their work.
In the country, so that the rest of the country gets to see the culinary talent we have here in Phoenix, and that will help promote our own region, the space that we live, right? Because I live in Phoenix, and I want that to be the best and most empowered version of itself, the most community-oriented, the most, a space where we're celebrating diversity, celebrating talents, building communities, connecting people, giving farmers visibility. I really want to create a sense of what could Phoenix be like at its best, and how can we help, empower people to help us along that journey.
Well, now we are on the way up there, and gratefully because of you, by using this app, and plus you're talking about the cooking show and all these new features, and it spreads awareness, and people have a sense of support in the community, and they're really excited. It's a beautiful thing. Do you want to briefly, as we go through the app here, we could sit and you could just kind of briefly explain the step-by-step?
Sure.
I know some people are maybe they feel overwhelmed, okay, so I have to contact the chef and I have to pick a day, but it's really a simple process. You made this app user-friendly, and it's great. So
thank you.
I love it. It's so simple, and I can do it. So that means a lot.
So you download this app, and you validate your identity through Facebook. This pulls no information from Facebook. We don't take any information. We don't even take your email from Facebook. We take nothing. We just essentially validate that you're a real person and not a robot. So then the app populates onto your phone, and you're asked, you want to find a local chef, what's your zip code? And essentially it's just asking you, what is your zip code? And you're giving your zip code, and then you can search for chefs in that way and start. You're going to see, initially you're going to see every single chef, whether they're the professional chef, culinary school student, or home cook. You're going to see all chefs within a 20-mile radius of you, anyone who's got a profile. And there are different filters at the very top of this app that allow you to search, whether by one field, like cuisine type, you can search by cuisine type. You can search by an event date that you have in mind. You can search by the type of chef you're looking for, whether you're looking strictly for a professional chef or strictly for a culinary student or a home cook, and you don't want to go through a bunch of profiles to find the relevant chefs. And then you start checking out the chef's profile. So you can see pictures of their dishes that they've uploaded. You can read a short bio about them to get a sense of who they are and what their culinary experience and background is, what they care about. You can see what their minimum charge is, what farms they support by sourcing from them currently. You can see what their maximums are for how many guests they'll accommodate, essentially how many guests you could have at your party that they'll cook for. And then you can check out their menus, whether those are their a la carte menus or their fixed menus, their tasting menus. You can check those out, see what our reservation rules are, read any FAQs, frequently asked questions. There's tabs for those that are easily accessible, so if you have a question, you get it answered right there on that same page. You see what our cancellation policy is, and then you can chat with the chef right through the app or see his or her ratings and reviews by real users who have done a real transaction on this app. Now, keep in mind that this app came out yesterday, right? So there's not going to have been a bunch of activity on it already. So people are just learning about it and downloading it now. So, but you can certainly start chatting with the chefs through the app. And for example, if they've partially created a profile, but they haven't finished it, let's say they don't show. Oops,
Sorry, Asher's getting a little crazy on over there. Okay.
So
if they started a profile,
yep, if they've started
but
a profile,
they didn't finish it,
right? Then if you see a picture of a plate on their profile, that means that they need to add a menu.
Do you mind picking up? Yeah. Asher's trying to be involved in the conversation. Oh. That will take care of him. Okay. So he said, "Go ahead."
Okay.
Okay.
So if you see a picture of a plate on the chef's profile, you can literally tap on it, and it'll send an automated message to the chef saying, "Hey, chef, you know, I'm checking out your profile. Can you please add some menus here for me to see?" If you see a picture of a bicycle on the chef's profile, you can tap on the bicycle, and that bicycle will go and send the chef a message to show his availability. So it'll tell the chef, "Hey, I'm checking out your profile. Can you show your availability of when you're available so I can reserve your services?" So those are a couple of fun things we added to the app because we saw that some chefs had completed profiles, you know, that we pulled from the beta, the chefs who chose to stay onto the official version of the app after the test version. And some chefs who had gone through the beta had done partial profiles, and some things were still left incomplete. So this incentivizes them to finish out their profiles because a foodie is, you know, sort of tapping them saying, "I'm interested in your profile, I'd like to see more."
That's awesome.
So yeah, and then you can reserve the chef right through the app.
And I'm sure for events like Super Bowl,
Yes.
for Christmas, maybe Thanksgiving, maybe you don't want to cook, but you want to provide this amazing experience for your friends and family to come, and that chef will show up, will chat with your friends and family and yourself, will cook in front of you, will bring all of the ingredients, so it's a really interactive experience. It's not like they show up and set out the food that was already made. It's a real like experience where you get to chat and ask them questions and talk during the cooking process.
Yes, because the chef is actually the entertainment. So they're not only the person that is doing the cooking, but they become the entertainment for that lunch, brunch, or dinner event that you're reserving it for. And I should point out that one of the fabulous parts about all this, or the aspects of this app, is that the pricing on it, even though the chefs are setting their own pricing, availability, and dishes, on the back end, when we look at these chefs' profiles to see what pricing they've set, it's really just matching what you would pay in a restaurant. And so whether you're going to a budget-friendly restaurant, to a mid-tier restaurant, to a high-end restaurant, these chefs are really sort of lining up themselves with those. And the benefit is to you as a foodie is that because you're providing your own alcohol, right, for these in-home dining experiences, then you're really saving quite a bit on your dining experience when you're inviting people over. Because, you know, at restaurants, the price of alcohol is tripled when they sell it to you, right, versus what you could buy it for if you just went out and bought it yourself. So you do have a savings in that way. And you're helping someone in the community with a job. And you're helping a farmer by sourcing from them.
Well, Asher is a little bit happy down there. I think we're going to wrap up. But I think we covered everything. And I'm excited for you to download this app, to experience it, to research, to test, to play, to see profiles, and hopefully we can get your feedback too.
That would be awesome. Feedback would be wonderful.
Is important.
Right through the app.
Can feedback out. Thank you so much, Rosa. Thank you. I know your time. Let me get it. I know your time. Here, let me see.
No worries.
I know your time is very limited and you're willing to do this and share your story with everyone.
I'm grateful. So thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks to you too.
Thank you too.
Bye-bye.